Now, as I said in the previous video, when we started looking at multiplying fractions, when we've got mixed fractions, we have an extra step to take care of because you cannot multiply mixed fractions together. You have to change them into improper fractions. Once you've got them as an improper fraction, then it's exactly the same process. We're multiplying the numerators, or the tops, we're multiplying the denominators, or the bottoms, and then we're simplifying if we can. So just a recap of how do we convert mixed fractions to improper fractions. If you remember, we multiply the fraction's denominator, so the bottom of the fraction, by the whole number part, and then we're going to add that to the numerator, and then we're going to write the result on top of the denominator. So our denominator does not change in our new fraction. So we're going to look at an example here. We're going to write 3 2/5 as an improper fraction. So I know that my denominator is going to stay as a 5. And I'm going to start with that 5 because that's what I've just written down, and I'm going to go round to the 3 and I'm going to multiply. So I've got 5 multiplied by 3. I've got 5 times 3. And then I'm going to work round and I'm going to add on my numerator. So I'm going to add on 2. So then I'm going to do BODMAS and do 5 times 3 is 15, add on 2 is 17. And so I'm going to get 17/5, or 17/5 as my improper fraction. Now, what if my answer is an improper fraction? I want to change it back into a mixed fraction. And remember that the fraction line means divide by. So we're going to divide the numerator, or the top, by the denominator, the bottom. And we're going to write down the whole number answer, and then any remainder is going to be above the denominator, and then obviously we need to check and see if we can simplify at the end. So the example here is write the following as a mixed fraction. We've got 11/4, or 11/4. So let's set ourselves up a bus stop. 4 doesn't go into 1, and we've got a remainder of 1, and 4 goes into 11 twice with a remainder of 3, because 2 times 4 is 8, and 8 plus 3 gives me 11. So I'm going to write the 2 as the whole number, and then I'm going to write my remainder above my denominator. And I can always check that I've got it correct because I can use the process from the last slide where I'm doing 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and 8 plus 3 is 11, and so I can get back to 11/4. So let's try looking at multiplying two mixed numbers, or two mixed fractions. So step 1 is to change the mixed fraction to an improper fraction, and so we've got 2 to do here. So we're going to do 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, and 6 plus 1 gives us 7. So our first fraction is going to be 7/2. And we're multiplying that, and we're doing 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and so we've got 7/3. So now we're going to do our multiplying. So 7 times 7 is 49, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now I want to change that back into a mixed number. So I'm going to go over here to the side, and I'm going to write my 49 underneath the bus stop. I'm going to write my 6. There are no 6's in 4. There are 8 6's in 49, because 8 6's are 48. So that means I have a remainder of 1. So my final answer is going to be 8 and 1/6. And I can't simplify the 1/6 any further. So now I'm going to look at finding 4 3/4 multiplied by 1 1/3. So step 1, changed my mixed fractions into improper fractions. So 4 times 4 is going to give me 16, and 16 plus 3 is going to give me 19, so I'm going to end up with 19 over 4. And I'm going to multiply that by 3 times 1 gives me 3, and 3 plus 1 gives me 4, and so I'm going to get 4/3. Now I'm going to multiply the tops together, so 19 times 4 and 4 times 3. Now I can go ahead and do 19 times 4, but I've noticed that I have a common 4 on the numerator and the denominator, so they will both cancel down to one whole. So now it makes my calculation a lot easier because I'm doing 19 times 1 and 1 times 3, so I've got 19/3. So again, I want to go to the side, write my bus stop. There are no 3's in 1 with a remainder of 1. There are 6 3's, which are 18, with a remainder of 1 in the 19. And so my final answer is going to be 6 1/3.